Hey guys, this is Chris.
Yeah, this is Colin.
And we are back for Season 2, Episode 2. We got what challenge?
Yeah, we have our things that go bump in the night theme. As you can see from the box, we used it was tough. We used the hidden side sets for this week's theme. I have my build under the classic orange IKEA bin. Chris has his in his classic gray IKEA bin. But this was an interesting one. I definitely didn't do what I thought I was gonna do, and I'm curious to see like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Chris decided to do, so it's gonna be fun.
We have different sets.
We did.
I've been actually getting a lot of questions from the community asking like, what is bump in the night? Sure. And like, to me, I'm thinking like things that kind of give you goosebumps at night. You know, like the things that you hear, like creepy things that mess with your mind.
Something creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of,
Do you think this one will involve more story? I feel like it does.
Mine involves all story.
Okay, great. Then mine has a little bit of story as well. But yeah, I think story is going to be really important for them this week. So guys, think about the story, especially like when you guys are sending us builds, because you have to be able to convey emotion. If you can do that with your builds, perfect. But sometimes, you know, like when you take photographs, some of the old builds that we had, who was it? I believe it was Nathan, who had the anglerfish.
Anglerfish, yeah.
Right, the peppermint
fisherman.
There's also Aiden, who did the under the bed for sharp teeth. One. There's a couple
that
out
sharp
there.
teeth one that would have been a good one for this. Sorry, you didn't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. We knew.
We did.
But anyways, yeah, like it's the emotion that you convey with your build as well as a story. So the cool thing is for the Dark Ages one, we got a lot of stories. So we're gonna have to read those out. But anyways, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this, Colin?
Well, we are of course doing a big lead up to our event. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
BuildCon. Sorry,
yeah.
I literally lost my mind just now. So a big thank you to New Horizon Mall as always. Again, we're doing all these contests weekly and all these prize giveaways and all this content as a cool lead up to get everyone hyped, to get us hyped, to get you guys hyped for the first virtual Lego convention and the largest one in Alberta.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be hosted on the Twitch platform, and we need all of you guys to be there. We need the support. There's gonna be tons of giveaways happening on there, awesome guests, great builds, just a lot of fun stuff, and there's gonna be a lot of interaction. So if you guys have like questions or cool things you guys wanted to talk about, that'll be the time, because we're gonna have a lot of time to be able to go over everything. So again, August 28th to 30th, BuildCon, looking forward to it. But this video is all about our build reveal, our box to MOCs.
Yes. And if you guys are new here, from Box to MOCs series is when we take a Lego set and build for the theme for BuildCon's challenge. And all of this is hosted by Creator Industries, which we try to be a platform for the community so that we can all enjoy these contests together, fun building, and just overall have a good time building with Lego.
Yeah, growing and building together is kind of the point. So Chris, what set did you end up building with this week?
I ended up getting the Graveyard Mystery. Colin might have seen mine.
Nope, I didn't look. Don't worry.
So yeah, this is what I got for the hidden side. And what did you get? I
got the wrecked shrimp boat.
Wrecked. Time to get wrecked.
Time to get wrecked. So that was the one that I used. We actually, if you didn't see it, we rolled a dice. It was randomly chosen.
Yeah.
We didn't get to pick our sets this week. We wanted to try and make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more exciting, a little bit more challenging, even though it's already challenging enough to have to go with a theme and a random box to do these builds in. But that's what we decided to do, so.
Well, we got what we wanted.
We did. We both got what we wanted.
So,
or more importantly, we didn't get what we didn't want.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's the most important one. I have to set mine up, but you have yours already.
I do.
Okay, let's do it.
So should we just pop them open and then?
Yeah, I'm ready. I have I have one that I'll show you that.
Okay.
We'll set up in the close up. Ready?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, hold on. What? Oh, interesting.
So it's like an underwhelming looking build because, well, I'll explain in a second. Ooh, very cool. Okay.
I have, this is what I have.
He's wearing a mask.
So we'll start. We'll go with Colin's first.
That's funny.
But I have some story.
What do you have to set up? Anything that? something we'll do later?
Take it out. I mean, it's not much. So, like, I mean, it is a graveyard themed, and
oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Oh, my tombstone fell apart.
Okay, well we'll get to Chris's in a second here. I'll talk about mine really quick. We're not going to go into crazy detail because we want you guys to be able to see it. So you need to zoom in, especially for these ones, especially for mine. Like, you need to be like up and close to be able to appreciate anything. So what I wanted to do was I decided that there was 4 minifigs in here, which is awesome, and a ghost dog. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a scene. So this city basically, or this town, it's like a port town. It's by the water, probably a fishing town. I wanted each of these people to have their own spooky experience. So throughout the town, all of these weird things are sort of happening. And so each one of these is basically just a set, or it's like just a theme.
Oh, it's their own vignette.
It's their own little vignette. It's like their own little experience in the town. So these don't necessarily go together, but they're hosted in the same village, basically. So I'm just gonna move this one so you guys can see this one. I'm gonna actually flip it around. So again, I'm not gonna go into like crazy detail, but I'll just tell you kind of what each of them was.
Sure.
So the first one is our fisherman. He's got his fish on his canoe or his kayak, and there's a sunken or a broken down ship, and there seems to be some creepy
glowing stuff,
glowing green, which he's a little bit concerned about. He doesn't really know what that means.
That's cool.
The next one is we have our guy in our little hoodie. So this is a in-city little garden that you can go and view. There's a cool little lamp, but behind him is a spooky, like spider-like character. The next one is a bus stop, and she's there with kind of making like a face because she can feel a creepy crawly tentacle coming around the side with an eye on it.
This town is doomed.
And then the last one is porta potty. This is actually the sailor, the fisherman, like the main fisherman of the village is on this porta potty, and he's looking down and he sees what appears to be a ghost dog.
That's the worst time to see a ghost dog.
Yeah, but there's something a little extra that I won't get into. But that is the premise. So not a lot to talk about necessarily in the overall premise, but there is some story and some idea there, and we can go into more detail in a second. So let's talk about Chris's really quick.
Ooh, okay, so mine, I took a different direction where I was digging through my uncle's collection, and I found an ancient mask. It holds some secret, and legend has it that it's cursed. So I wanted to show you guys, and yeah, maybe we can talk about the curse and maybe unlock some of its mystery.
Cool.
But I will have a story for you guys. So this is my mask. It's it's my uncle's mask, and it's inspired by some ancient tribes, some ancient Mayan tribes. And it's a bit creepy. I don't like putting it on as much because I feel some bad energy coming from it. But my uncle did warn me not to stare into it too much. So I'm gonna put that down. But yeah, I don't know, do you feel that?
It's weird. It's a little weird. I feel some dark energy coming off it. We're gonna have to dive into the mysteries of what that mask can hold. But I think we'll save that again for the up close. There's also some really cool gray parts that you use.
That'll be for the story. Yeah,
really cool.
I got some. I got a story to tell everybody.
Well, that's awesome. Well, let's leave it at that. We don't want to dive into too deep because the best part is being able to be up close and talking about it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut to an up close camera version as always, so that you guys can see in more detail, and so that Chris and I can explain in more detail what our thought process and our build techniques were.
All right,
so let's do it.
We'll cut and enjoy.
Hey guys, this is Colin. So as we mentioned, this is going to be an up close and in-depth review of the box to MOCs build that I did. So again, my theme, or the theme, was things that go bump in the night. As we tried to explain before, things that are kind of creepy crawly, things that might make your skin crawl or give you goosebumps, give you those heebie-jeebies, things you might see around Halloween or in the middle of the night. We're just trying to make a spooky story to give some people some feels about it. So if we dive into my build, I had the wrecked shrimp ship, which is hard to say, I don't know why, but our scene starts with this broken down ship. So I went with 4 different minifigs and 4 different vignettes, or 4 different scenes, and the first one is this ship. So nobody saw it, but it was sort of just floating through on a foggy, misty night through the water, and it crashed on some rocks, broke down, and the first person to find it was this fisherman. And so you can see by his face, he was definitely startled. He doesn't know what he's looking at. It's a little bit spooky. He just went to go catch some fish for his dinner, and he basically just paddled on by. And what he saw was this broken ship, but there was all this green, sort of spooky aura coming off of it, and he has no idea why. It's sort of coming out and into the water. Thankfully for him, he didn't see this creepy eye that's on top. Otherwise, he might have been paralyzed with fear. But he was able to keep his wits and basically just paddle on away. He wanted to go tell the townsfolk and let them know that he found something really spooky and really creepy in the water, and he doesn't know what it was. He's never seen it before. He's a fisherman. He's been on the water a lot, but he was stumped. He really doesn't know why there's that weird aura coming off of it. So maybe we can learn a little bit more as we go through the scenes. I'm gonna move the ship off to the side, and I'll move our poor fisherman, who is scared, off to the side as well. And we'll move into the city itself. So he was on the water, and this town is like a fishing town, so it's along the water, it's really close to it, so everyone's really used to it. It's very spooky, it's misty, it's probably raining a little bit, lots of fog. And our next scene is with our female minifig here. And what she is doing is she's actually waiting at a bus stop. So she's covered over here with the canopy. It's kind of just a metallic, kind of rugged, broken down bus stop. This town obviously isn't super wealthy. Again, small fishing village, so everyone's pretty humble. But she's got a bit of a scared face to her. It looks like she's feeling something, or maybe she can feel something on the back of her neck, or she thinks there's something staring at her or something behind her. And little does she know, she's right. On the side of this bus stop, it seems that there's a tentacle coming around it, and it's got this creepy glowing green eye on it. It actually resembles a very similar eye to what the fisherman found on the boat, and has a similar glowing green aura to it. So we hope that the bus comes before her fate does, because it seems like she's pretty close to maybe getting snatched by this tentacle here. But she is not having a good time. She's definitely scared. She's really hoping the bus is gonna come, and we do for her sake as well. So I'll move her off to the side. The next scene that we have is an intercity scene as well. So we have our main male minifig here with his hoodie. He's just in the city. There's a small bonsai park for people to go and look at. So he was walking along the sidewalk, came up here. It's illuminated by this lamp, which is actually just a stick and a lantern.
Nice.
But they go together pretty well. I thought it made a cool lamp, and you can kind of tilt it a little bit to make it look like it's a bit broken, or a little bit haphazardly put together. So he's just taking a look at this bonsai trees and these bushes that are here on his way home from work or wherever it was that he was coming from. But again, his face, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it looks like he was just staring at this, and something came skittering out of the bushes, through and around, and little does he know now that there is this creepy, four-legged, glowing green creature that is behind him. It's got two legs that seem to be looking to grasp behind him. And so, based off this scene, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of place for him to go. So, again, the fate of him is unknown. But as you can see, the theme is now this glowing green sort of aura. After the shipwreck has happened, all these weird, mysterious monsters and creepy things have come out at night in this spooky city, or this fishing town, and all these minifigs are having their own mysterious encounters. Now, the last scene that I have is actually the first one that I built, and it's a rundown wooden porta potty. So you can imagine that this was something that is by the port or by the pier maybe. So people dock their boats, they come up and they have to use the washroom. This is the one and only one. Probably not so great to use, but it's all they have. So actually the idea came from using one of these these life buoys that were on the side of the boats. I flipped it horizontally and it actually looked like a toilet seat. And so I just built off of it from there. Maybe we can look at it in more depth later. But we have our main captain here. So he runs the main fishing boat for the city, provides a lot of the meals, a lot of the fish that is eaten. But he was just going to the washroom and he looked down and he saw this whimpering, what he thought was a dog, but now that he looks at it, it's more of like a ghost dog. It's see-through, it's transparent or translucent. It's kind of cute, but it's looking up and maybe up at him or up and over him. He's not really sure. He's a little bit scared. He doesn't really know what's going on. But we do, because if you look a little bit closer in the back corner, the actual face of a mysterious man is behind him, and that's what the dog is looking at. It's actually the owner of the ghost dog, is this creepy face. It's also the captain of the ghost ship that we saw earlier, and he was floating through with his ghostly ship, and it unfortunately rammed into this mysterious tentacled creature. It brought it down, and so down to Davy Jones's locker they all went. He is now a ghost, and the spirit and the essence of this creepy encounter is basically broken loose and gone all through the town now, and everyone is having their own individual creepy nightmare experiences. So that was kind of the idea behind it. I used his little glowing swords as well, so you wouldn't, as like a normal human, be able to see them, but because he is here, they've sort of just appeared, and these are the weapons that he would come and pick up to maybe try and fend off the things that brought down his ship. So that is the major idea. Again, I wanted 4 minifigs, 4 different vignettes or 4 different scenes. In terms of unique building techniques, these builds aren't overly complicated. I didn't want there to be anything super elaborate. I wanted this to feel very much like a set, similar to how I did the Under the Sea set, but this one even more so feels like a set to me. So each individual piece is its own story, its own scene for each minifig, but together they create a more cohesive story. So again, in terms of building techniques, the only real interesting things that I did that were abnormal were, again, I used the back piece. So these were tentacles that were supposed to come off the back of this glowing green face. It's actually the alter sort of ego in the Hidden Side set for this captain, but I decided to make it a creepy creature, which was fun. I used the tail. This is actually the tail off the crocodile from the set. The tail pops off, and I didn't end up using the crocodile in the set at all, although I probably could have put him in the water here just for effect, but because he didn't have a tail, kind of looked weird, so I opted not to use him. But I thought that the piece by itself seemed like a cool tentacle, so that was my idea for this one, and then I built a bus stop around it. And her face, again, she's kind of like, what's going on? There's something kind of weird happening, and so I didn't want there to be anything too overboard. Nothing's really above and beyond creepy. It's just little things that kind of add some scene and some scenario. Again, as I mentioned, I just used the lantern piece on top of this antenna rod to make a light post, which I thought was fun. And then, as I previously mentioned, I used the buoy as a toilet seat, and then I just built him up. And so now that the captain's out of the way, you can kind of see that this face of this ghost captain is kind of just floating there with a couple clip pieces. It works a little bit better when the main focal point is in place as well, because then it's not so obvious how he's in place there. But yeah, that was my build. That was the story and the idea behind it. Again, 100% not what I was going for. Maybe in the BTS we can talk about other ideas that we had, but I'll leave that for now. But I'm actually really happy with the way that the set turned out, because it really feels like a cohesive set to me. Something that I don't normally like doing is set building, but this one somehow, just with the 4 minifigs and being able to give them each their own story, I really enjoyed it. Again, my favorite one is definitely this outhouse, so that'll be something to see. If you guys are in Calgary, of course, for BuildCon, come by. You can see them in person. You can look at them a little bit more in depth, and you can ask any questions or give us any feedback on it. But yeah, for now, I think we're gonna go and swipe over to Chris's build, and he can go in depth into his creepy mask and his cemetery, which I think has a lot of story to it as well.
All right, guys, it's my turn. It's Chris from Creator, and for this week, bump in the night. Oh, that fell off. We're gonna do my build reveal, and this one is, I took it to a different direction where I wanted to tell you guys a story. Like I said, I pulled out an ancient mask from my uncle's collection. He is a treasure hunter, and he had some old relics that he had in his collection, and unfortunately my uncle's not with us anymore. He disappeared mysteriously. We don't know what happened to him, but he did leave a lot of his relics behind, so I managed to pull this one, and this one was my favorite because the story that he told me was it was really cool, and this mask itself held some mysterious cursed properties that I really want to tell you guys about. So this is an ancient mask. Apparently, legend has it that this was a ritual mask that they used to communicate to nature and potentially the people that passed. And the spiritualists who wore these masks, they said that they were able to hear the voices of the ones that passed away, ancient ones that could give them how to take care of nature better. So a lot of these things on this mask has some value and some story to it. Now I want to point you guys more directly to these sapphire crystals up at the top. Apparently all the ritualists that passed away, their souls were absorbed in this jewel. Can you imagine that? So if you pass away, this jewel gets your soul. So I don't know, I haven't been sleeping well ever since I've held on to this. I really wanted to show Colin, but I don't know, it's been weird. I've been hearing voices, so to speak, but I want to tell you guys another story about how the last moment that I had with my uncle, and it was weird. Like, it's just something that I really didn't tell anybody, but really the last thing he told me was about this mask and before he disappeared. So yeah, let me tell you a little bit about my uncle. He was a hunter, a relic hunter. He's here, he's right here. And he loved the shovel, of course. Like, that was kind of the main tools that he had. This is me and my sister, and over the summer we usually try to spend time with him because he's come home, and he used to tell us about his dream. His dream, he wasn't the most popular uncle, but he had a dream about a graveyard, a cemetery that apparently our ancestors all were buried, and this particular graveyard had an angel that guarded it. It was our apparent guardian angel. Now, within this dream, he told me that there's an ancient tomb that all of our ancestors were buried in. And if something were to ever happen to my uncle, he would be here. And if the curse ever came back, he would be here, and this is where I would find him. But I never knew what he meant. His dreams and his stories were always so cryptic, and I really just didn't understand what that dream meant until, this is gonna sound weird, but I had a dream about this mask itself that it came to life. It started to absorb me, and I started to hear voices. This is just all a dream. I'm thinking it was just a dream because even though it felt real, it couldn't be real. So this mask started to speak to me in this dream. It started to show me visions, and I started to have weird powers in this dream where I was able to control plants, control flowers, do things that could, hurt somebody. Like it poisoned people, and in my dream, like, some people got hurt and I didn't like it. So I went back to the stories in books that my uncle told me about, and he said, you will find our ancient tomb somewhere near your home. And miraculously, in my backyard, it was this tomb. There was a guardian angel and arches, high arches that you can go through. Now, I wasn't too sure, like, this can't be real. Like, my story, my uncle does not, it can't be real. So, but I needed to get answers because this mask was haunting me in my dreams. Like, this mask felt like it was taking over my entire body and I didn't like it. So I ran into this tomb. Like, I went inside this area here and I ran into this tomb where it had a skull. And the skull, man, it was crazy because it started talking to me. And it said, answer these questions. And I answered the questions. And then after, it disappeared and the tomb moved. And the crazy part was this tomb had my uncle's pickaxe. So could it be that my uncle was in it? And he did. His ghost appeared. My uncle told me about the curse and he told me to get rid of the mask. And he warned me that if I do not get rid of this mask, it will consume me, consume my soul, and I will forever disappear into the jewel. But that can't be right. That can't be true. It's just a dream, right? Like, this mask can't be real. Although, I don't know. I haven't been sleeping well, but maybe I should get rid of it. Anyways, this was my mask. This was my build. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Maybe I should get rid of it. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. That's it, guys. This is it for our reveals.
No, take it off. I don't want it to consume you. Oh, Chris's story was definitely spooky. I like it.
We hope you guys liked our stories. We hope you guys liked our builds. We hope you guys were inspired.
Yeah.
Other than that, Colin, the prizes, everything is gonna all be announced Thursday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have everything coming out on Thursday for last week's theme and build, so keep an eye out for that. Again, hopefully you guys were inspired and are planning or working towards building something for this week. We're really looking forward to this one. We think this one's really fun. We tried to have as much fun with the story as possible, so hopefully you guys do as well. But if you guys haven't seen, go check out our Instagram page. You can see a lot of behind the scenes stuff. You'll also be able to see when all of our new themes are coming out and just a bunch of great stuff, as well as our YouTube channel.
Yes. Be sure to hit that like button as well as subscribe. It lets us know that you guys like the content that we're putting out. We want to make more of these videos for the community. We've been growing and we really appreciate everybody that subscribed so far. We hope that you guys have been liking all of our builds, and this From Box to Mock series season 2 has been off to a good start.
It's been a really good start. Looking forward to the next couple themes. You guys are gonna lose your minds.
Oh, I can't wait. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.